long ago, back in when I was at school, I asked the professor, that I am disturbed about what I hear about African Americans in the United States, even colored people in Britain and across the world, Canada, Australia, and everywhere. Is this true? So he laughed in his own way and demeanor and referred me to read a book by Franz Fanon, The Wretched of the Earth. Yes, University of Nigeria, they asked us to read that. And after reading that, I knew something was wrong. It changed the trajectory of my life, as a young man. And I'm asking the same question to you looking at me. Are colored people, are Black Americans really lazy? Yes, lazy and unmotivated. Please spare me some time and let's reason together. Based on that book I read, it opened my eyes to a lot of things. But first, like I always say, if you've not subscribed to a YouTube channel, please do so. Share it, let people know about what we're doing. At DIASPORA Forum, we're trying to bring the discuss closer to ourselves and let us discuss them and look for a solution so that we can rise together as a people. Like I always say, the first thing is the proverb of the day. We want to see what our ancestors have to say about the topic of today. Are we really lazy and unmotivated, or there's something behind it? Because as the professor said, everything we do is a reaction to something. But first, the proverb of the day. Take a look at that poster. He who takes away another's freedom is a prisoner of hatred. That's true. That is true. Based on what we're discussing today. You have to have so much hatred in you to take another's freedom. And if you decide to do that, guess what? You become a prisoner of hatred for the rest of your life. Once again, that's the proverb of the day. But first of all, did you know? Yes, I want to bring you Haiti, a country in the Caribbean. Watch this. Did you know that Haiti was formerly known as Saint Dominic? Haiti in Creole. Yeah, they changed the colonial name from Saint Dominic, the name given by the French, to its Tiano name of Haiti, or Haiti in Creole. Do you know that Haiti was the richest and most productive European colony in the world going into the 1800s? Oh, don't cry for Haiti if you know its history. Do you know that Haiti gave the world the first slave uprising that led to the founding of the state, which was both free from slavery and ruled by non-Caucasians and former captives? Oh no, don't cry for Haiti. Do you know that the revolt began on 22nd August 1791 and ended in October 1804 with the former colony's independence? That a former slave, General Toussaint Louverture, yes, was the leader of the rebellion. He became the president upon independence. Yes, Toussaint Louverture, yeah. It effectively debunked long-held European beliefs about colored inferiority and slaves' inability to achieve and maintain their own freedom. It rattled slave owners and colonization. The rebellion in Haiti spread like wildfire to Jamaica, Mexico, and beyond. Colonists looked for ways to put it down. And in 1811, King Louis XVIII of France looked for ways to make Haiti surrender. So on April 17, 1825, the French king decided to recognize Haitian independence, but only at the price of 150 million francs. Again, 150 million francs, or 10 times the amount US paid for Louisiana territory, which was sold for only 15 million francs. What an extortion. They went into negotiation accompanied by a squadron. Listen to that, a squadron of 14 brigs of war carrying more than 500 cannons. Basically, they wanted to burn down Haiti. They wanted to put down insurrection. a rejection making war. The French simply wanted to burn Haiti down. This was to compensate French colonies for their lost revenue from slavery. Can you imagine that? With the threat of violence looming, on July 11, 1825, Haiti signed the fatal document to pay France the sum of 150 million francs. To make matters worse, listen to this. Haiti was forced to borrow 30 million francs from French banks to make the first two payments. Haiti defaulted soon after, but the French king sent another expedition in 1838 with 12 warships to force the Haitian president's hand. France reduced the outstanding amount owed to 60 million francs, but they were ordered to take out crushing loans once more. From where? The French banks to pay the balance. This is how Haiti fell to what it is today. So when you seek Haiti, you know where the problem comes from. It comes from the French government. It comes from the French government. Not even United States, not even the Vatican could support Haiti. In fact, the Vatican was the last state to recognize Haiti. So when you see Haiti today, you know people organized, made it possible to destroy Haiti. Is it not funny that in all the Northern Hemisphere, it's only Canada that is doing well? Is it not funny? Think about it. Only Canada is doing well. The natives destroyed. The colored people destroyed. South America destroyed. Think about that. Okay, did you know? Please read about it. Haiti was the richest. So when you see people begin to fall, and that's why I wanted to build from that perspective and see why. And when they tell you Haitians are lazy, or they are AIDS infested and all that, know where it began. So when you see the things French built, the French nation, Paris built, know where it's from. Once again, our proverb of the day, and then did you know? Then let's go to the topic proper. Like I said, are colored people really lazy and unmotivated? How can you say that? How can we say that? How can we look at those pictures? Look at people taken as slaves. Look at the way they were kept in ships. Look at human beings with chains in their neck like dogs. People love animals more than they love human beings today around the world. How can people be treated the way they're treated? How can people who raised people up, raised Caucasians, people, look at those pictures, yes. How can people who raised you, how can people who built the White House, yes, for 15 Pennsylvania Avenue to be actually called, subliminally called the White House. Think about that. People who built it, never paid. Look, people who were valued more than even Caucasian, even more than the Irish. Look at the way they treated the Irish. Yes, the Negroes, they wanted them more. They were priced more. Yes, take a look at that. Negroes that actually females put on pants to fight in America's wars. Yes, across the world. People who fought the First World War, Second World War, Vietnam War. People who fought in Confederate, yes, they forced them to fight in Confederate, amongst the Confederates and in US. Yes, all these things they did for nothing. Nothing. That's why my professor asked me to read the book, to go and read that book, The Wretched of the Earth. So when you see people stealing, when you see people careless, when you see people decide, you know what, I'm just going to work, because guess what? The world refused to give back anything for everything they did. Yes, those of us that come from other nations and come to the United States, yes, we are actually flying on the wings of people. People like Martin Luther King had to die for some of us to have the kind of jobs we have today. So when we open our mouth and say that colored people are lazy and unmotivated, it's for a reason. The same thing with those North Africans when they got to France, the way they were treated. And that is really about the French Revolution. How can we, people who fought, Buffalo soldiers, after fighting all the wars across the world, they came back to segregation, to discrimination in the United States. They fought back all the wars, and not even the GI Bill, things they were qualified for, was given back to them. That is why they don't care. That is the reason for the hopelessness, for the idleness, for the carelessness, for the do-nothing attitude, for the dirt, for the littering, for having children out of wedlock. It's a form of protest. Yes, Franz Fanon said it is a form of protest. If you do not realize it now, because they're trying to tell you, see your creation, see what you did to us. They're not lazy. These were people you wanted, because as soon as they refused to work without payment, then it became a problem. People that were hunted down, put in jail, mass incarceration. Think about it. That is the reason. So you put out this narrative because the state failed them, the church failed them, the people failed them. We have to think about the narrative we put across. So when you see Friends, look at how beautiful it is. Ask yourself, how did that be? Look at London. What has United? Look at the museums and everywhere. It's all stolen properties across from Africa. Think about it. So when you see those homeless people in Skid Row in California, or you see poverty across the world, just understand where it's coming from. But I'll stop here. What do you think? I'd like to hear from you. Our shout out for the day. Please take care. Oh my God. Yes. Our shout out for the day is we're going to Nigeria to look to hope as represented in Nigeria. It shows why we must all have hope in the youth. I say this because despite the wanton killings, the kidnappings, the improbable destruction of lives and properties in Nigeria, the youth as represented by these young men and women, we should have hope. We cannot lose hope. That because if Israel can resurrect after dispersion, if there is a place today for Peruvian and Romanians people, then there will be place for all of man someday somewhere. Look at these young men and women. Look at the first one. 10-year-old Tani Tolua Adewumi. He's today's America's youngest chess master. Look at 15-year-old Fatou Donse. She beat the United States, United Kingdom, Chinese and other high school students across the world to win global mathematics competition. And you know the funny thing? Remember, she's schooled in Nigeria. That's not all. Please meet 5 high school girls from Nigeria that conquered the world for their development of an app that detects fake drugs in Global Technovision held in San Francisco, USA. Guess what they call themselves? Team Save a Soul. Not to be outdone, Miss Chinwe Mary Blessing Onodoago recently won Nigeria's mathematics queen for the year to 2020. There are so many more, but these few put smile on our faces even as we watch our elected leaders disgrace themselves and offices. Once again, there's so many reasons to have a smile on your face. If you look up, you see my information. I really look forward to meeting with you one-on-one so we can discuss about things that really hold us together than divide us apart. I look forward to hearing from you. I have faith in you. May Paris be